Hi everyone, just thought I'd give you an update on what's been happening. Tomatoes have all started to ripen up, which has been really good to see. With a lot of good weather, so they look excellent. A couple of really huge ones as well. It's going to be nice, that one. And up here as well, quite a lot of spiders coming in, which is kind of keeping all the flies down. Had a few problems with this unit. As you can see, the water level's really low. So my fantastic design of this, which was basically a bell siphon on the top of the fish tank to build up the pressure to force all the water out, has been a problem. So it needs some fine tuning. Normally it works, but recently had a few issues. Ever so quickly, sweet peas, they've done really well. See if I can just show this for a second and balance the camera on there. Just trickier than I thought. Yeah. So open them up. Yeah, lovely. Tastes good too. So that goes out to JT Bear specifically, who was wondering about the sweet peas. So I've got to fix that. You might remember I planted this old thing. A customer had brought it into the shop, said it wasn't really working, it was dying, they couldn't revive it. I've stuck it in the aquaponics. Look at it now. It's growing. It's happy. And actually, with all the goodness and everything else, it's done it wonders. So I'm just going to go to the other unit now. This is one thing I've been really pleased with. This buddleia. Look at the butterflies. They're all over it. Everywhere. Never seen anything like it. There's so many. Bees. The interesting thing is, this whole garden was pretty much dead when I got the house. Because I gave up. God. Wow. Because I gave up my old house willingly. Bailiffs said it was the first time they'd ever gone for a repossession, and people were happy to leave with a big smile on their face and were very welcoming, which is probably one of the most bizarrest things they ever had to deal with. But when we got this place, it was a nightmare. There was dead rats in the garden. There was a pond that should have been a health hazard. Thanks a lot, chicken. We had all sorts of things that were just not right. The plumbing, the electricity, the heating, the floor, the wallpapers, mould. Well, I fixed it all. And now we've started to bring in all these beautiful creatures into the garden through planting some nice bushes and shrubs, bringing nature back into it. It's now starting to thrive. Let me show you this. Now, you'll remember from previous videos, just what, a couple of weeks ago? Have a good look at this now. Just in a couple of weeks. It's now turning into the jungle it did last year. It's really hitting a point where the growth is just quite incredible. Look at that. It's just non-stop. This we were talking about before. Look at it now. It's grown even more. I'm sure it's accelerated growth within these systems. Just see the water trickling in there. When you look at what we had first of all, there's hardly anything in here. And we've got some peppers. I can't remember what this one is, but yeah, I've got some paprika down there. And there was, I'm sure I saw tomato in here. Yeah, here it is. That looks beautiful. That's going to go in a salad, I should think. Probably tonight. Got more tomatoes growing. This tomato plant has really thrived. The one at the back is really starting to grow. Brussels sprouts growing. Oh dear, I don't know what's happened here. Something's broken off. Yeah, all down here, all the strawberries are really coming together beautifully. These things were nearly dead because I'd left them outside and hadn't watered them. Now they're growing, no problems there. It's just coming together really nicely. Vietnamese marjoram, that's just got a whole life of its own now. So if I just step back for a minute, get an idea just how much things have grown since even my last video. Let's picture my dog, Bourneville. He's a rescue dog. Bourneville. Say hello. Say hello, you're a good boy, aren't you? You're a good boy. We called him Bourneville because he's dark and bitter like the chocolate. He had an abusive owner before me. I'm training him up to be a gun dog, but he's got some things, but he's still a bit grumpy with people, funny hats, wrong colour jacket, teenagers, children, cats, other dogs. In fact, I think it's only me he likes. But I love him a bit, he's great. Now, I built a venturi pump as well. Doesn't look overly dramatic, but that's because of the water flow and the pressure going in. I've done about as much as I can with a pond pump, but we're getting nice frothy bubbles, and it is actually working. There you go. Otherwise it'd just be a hose dribbling into there. But it's all balanced. There's oxygen getting into the air, and if you haven't built one before, it's worth doing. I went to the local fish shop and he had his fish, and he had a separate air pump, and quite honestly I don't think he even got that much air coming into his 3 tanks. So, and that was costing him more because he had plugged it in as well, obviously. He didn't even know about these systems. I think he wants to come and visit, have a look at my setup. I bought some Sarassosa. Where are they? You might see one. I'll just step back for a minute because the fish get a bit camera shy. Let's have a look. Might still be hungry. But they're growing up to about 3 inches, 3 to 4 inches now, some of the fish. And he was still surprised I actually had them alive. I took the water into the shop and got it tested for the pH, and he said whatever I was doing it right. Just very quickly, this was all made out of rubbish and bits and bobs. That's the hose from the pump. There's a bit of leakage, because I've lost the end bit to tighten up, but this came off an old water pump from Lidl's, I think. This came off a pump my mum gave me. This is a diaphragm from an air pump. That's a hose from a dripper. And then just some general plumbing fixings there. I put a washer in so the water pressure builds here, and there's a narrower exit for the water which changes the atmosphere, and after this point, and this hose goes all the way down to about just touching the base, and it's got a 60-degree angle cut into it, and as the water pressure changes, it changes the atmosphere, sucks the air through, and you get that effect, air bubbles. It's a brilliant system. If you haven't done it already, it costs practically nothing, and if you're quite a tinkerer, you can find bits that you can put together and cobble it together. Otherwise, everything else is going fine. Yeah, what more can I say? I did hear that New Zealand was planning to put legislation in to stop you growing your own vegetables, or giving them to even your neighbours, or having a special license. It's all part of Codex Alimentarius. If you don't know what that is, it's part of Agenda 21. It's definitely worth looking at. These people are trying to corrupt our food supply, control everything. I think growing vegetables is a vital part of our future if you don't know how to do it, even for the fact you can look after your own food production. And obviously with a greenhouse you're protecting it to some degree from anything that's being sprayed in the air, which some of you may call paranoid. I'm not so sure. There has been studies in Hawaii that have shown whatever they're spraying in the air there has definitely landed on the crops and destroyed it to a certain degree. Just showing my chickens. And these two I've managed to break free. Look at that. I can see where they got out. You little monsters. That's it. Go on. You start killing all the rest of the plants I put out. They know they've done wrong. Look at them. They're avoiding me. Wow. So, interestingly enough, the next project is this. It is an old, dilapidated 12-foot by 22-foot shed. The ceiling's collapsing. In fact, there's a jungle growing on the top of it. Now this is all coming down and will be made into an earthbag building. It'll probably be either my studio for doing artwork or stained glass, anything really I fancy, but it'll be of a solid construction, and that starts this week, so I'll be keeping you all up to date. I've got to knock it all down, and what I plan to do is have a really nice wall curving round using the earth bags and doing a raised up bed filled with gravel with I'm still designing it, but the idea is to have this pond, raised pond, using the earth bags, sweep round, and it won't be too deep, but there'll be fish in it, and that will be my outdoor aquaponics unit. And although this is a rented property, in all fairness, my beliefs, I'd like to leave this place better than I found it. I need to practice my skills. I have some big plans ahead, and this is just where I'm starting. But anyways, oh yeah, I've got a new cockerel as well. There he is, and he is bloomin' savage. I'm now a little bit nervous to go in. Yeah, I know you want a bit of me. Bit of my leg. Don't you? Say hello. Say hello. It's quite a pretty one. Not very friendly. Someone was going to use him for cockfighting or something like that, so he's a bit of a rescue. It's my good deed. But he is super cross. I'm trying to coax him in, be more friendly, but he's not. So I've stuck him in with my cuckoo pekins. Alright, he obviously likes the camera. Look, there's a cuckoo pekin. They're lovely birds. Look at him. There's one on the nest down there. I made those out of buckets. Don't know if you can see that very clearly. Nesting boxes. Buckets nailed to the wall. Just supported a little bit of hay in it. They absolutely love it. Cheapest way I've found to do it. Oh yeah. While I'm at it with the chickens, I'm also going to be breeding pheasants and whatnot. If I can find it, here it is. Amongst all the mess, someone very kindly gave me an incubator. And you can fit a lot of eggs in that. It's all hand turned. There's the element inside. It's all made out of polystyrene. Plug it in. No worries. So, I will very shortly be breeding some chickens. And pheasants. Obviously, that part from my gamekeeping side of things. Okay. Well, I think that's enough today, and I will see you all later on. Thanks very much. Anyone who subscribed, really appreciate it. I don't know if these are entertaining, interesting, but I'm always open to comments, any questions. I help as best I can. I'm still learning myself. I'm just an ordinary person trying something out that I'm feeling more passionate about as things go on. And pleased to say things are working out well. I never used to be able to grow anything. Got a lot of work to do yet. Thanks very much. Take care. Bye bye.